कई को देखिएगा ना, बलवा इसे से रंग लेती है सब, पूरा बलवा झाड़ेगी से ठीक, आएगा इसे निकाल लेगी।
मजा नहीं आ रहा है।
उसका 24 घंटा में उसका 10 बार बाल बिगड़ेगा। ये सब चक्कर में मत पड़ना। अगर वो चाह ले कि उसका बाल नहीं गिरना चाहिए तो उसके पास बलवे में के लिए 20 गो इंस्ट्रूमेंट आता है, दुनिया भर का प्रोटेक्टर, कंपास है, दुगा दुगा।
Watch your mouth. Body.
Gone.
My name is
Gone.
Gone. Perfect segue.
Hey, welcome back to our Stupid Reactions. Up Corbin.
I'm Rick.
And you follow us on Instagram,
Twitter,
juicy content,
nipple rubs,
and
free for all.
If there
Come
was
and get some.
ever a day to wear all of my Shah Rukh Khan apparel, it would be today.
And if I had mine that I was looking for yesterday, I would have worn it as well, but I couldn't get it to me in time.
But it is Romance Month, and the one film that we could not get out of Romance Month without watching, or we would have been murdered at the stake, would have been Veer Zara, which we're doing a movie review. Sorry, I forgot to introduce that.
Oh, yeah.
We were doing a movie review. You saw the title.
Yep.
And
You know why you're here.
And this was the minute we said we're doing a Romance Month.
Yeah.
This, I mean, obviously we knew a Shah Rukh Khan film and all that kind of stuff, but specifically Veer Zara. I mean, that's been recommended for a long time.
A long time.
Whenever we said we were doing a Romance Month, they're like, you better get to Veer Zara.
Yeah.
But it's a 2004 Hindi language film, directed by Yash Chopra, and starring just a little unknown guy named Sir Shah Rukh Khan, and Preeti Zinta, and Rani Mukherjee, and
a whole slew of folk.
Amitabh Bachchan, and Manoj Bajpayee, and Anupam Kher. Just a
Kher, right?
Wait.
Yeah. Anupam Kher?
Anupam Kher.
Kher, yeah.
Wait, where did we see Tom Alter?
He had like one line.
Well, who was he?
I'm trying to remember.
This would technically be the first Tom Alter thing we've ever seen.
Yeah, but like,
who was he?
He shows up. If I'm not mistaken, the scene he may have had two lines. It's 3/4 of the way in when Ronnie shows up to the attorney office, and he's talking to her before she meets up with
the lawyer guy.
Yeah, Thank you, Anupam Kher. She's talking to him because he works in his office.
Okay.
But you wouldn't necessarily have recognized him because he's only in profile. It's a 2-shot with Ronnie, and that's all you get is a couple.
That would technically be our first.
I think it technically
film of his.
Yeah.
Because all I've heard is like anytime we make fun of white actors for being terrible, they're like, you got to watch him because he's like the best white actor.
And I will say he didn't. See,
I didn't even notice.
Didn't even notice.
Anyway,
so that's a good sign.
But this will obviously be 100% spoiler review. Anytime we've seen a Shah Rukh Khan film, especially an iconic one, we've all seen it film.
Yeah.
So if you haven't watched it, we saw it on Amazon. You can go watch it. It's a 3-hour film, like all the films from 1990 or 2000s, essentially.
A little over 3 hours.
But Rick, your initial spoiler thoughts, I guess.
Yeah, well, a non-spoiler at the beginning, really. I don't have much in the paragraph, but this is our 12th movie of the year, our 136th Hindi, 219th all-time. And even though we've seen DDLJ, Kabhi Khushi Kabhie Gham, Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, Devdas, Swadesh, and My Name is Khan, to name a few, we were told we've yet to truly see why SRK is considered the king of romance. In fact, when Indrani and I sat down to watch this movie, she said, now you are about to see why SRK is SRK. I went into this film with a certain expectation based on past experiences with older SRK films. This movie didn't meet that expectation. It surpassed it by 786 miles. You like that? 786? You like that? Thank you so much. I have so many exemplary things to say about this movie that a single paragraph would be an insult. From SRK to Preeti Zinta to Rani Mukherjee to Big B to Kiran Kher to Boman Irani to Anupam Kher to Manoj Bajpayee to the direction and score and costuming. This is not only my favorite SRK film thus far. But one of my favorite films we've ever seen and one of my favorite love stories ever captured on film.
Holy shit.
I'm in.
Let me get a boot for you here. Hold on, where's
Seriously.
that Bollywood bootlicker?
It was way better than I was expecting on so many levels. So, I don't know what you thought of it, but that was my thoughts, and I have a lot I can say as to why I love it so much.
I really enjoyed this film, and it was different because I went into the expectation of DDLJ, K3G.
Me too.
And Kuch Kuch All
That's
Die.
what I was expecting.
That's what I was
I
expecting.
had set my fine artistry, independent film, and film festival hat to the side and just went, I'm going to have a really fun time, and I'll probably be touched a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I was expecting. I was expecting, the cheetah, cheetah,
Right,
road is a cheetah moments.
And you play good basketball.
Hey, dude.
Hey, dude.
But they just... they hardly ever came, those moments. There was very few of
Very
few
few.
of those types of moments in this film, and it was, I'd say, one of Shah Rukh Khan's most grounded, better performances.
How many times did I talk about, I just consistently was like, Ronnie's so grounded. Brady's so grounded. SRK is so grounded.
This whole-
Just everybody. But I was so taken by, it made me, I was like, yes, I said at one point to Ronnie, I said, see, I was talking to SRK on the thing. I'm like, SRK, bro, flex the thespianatic muscles like this now. Your fans love you doing this kind of stuff. It doesn't have to be the rompy compy stuff. So anyway,
Yeah, it was a wonderful surprise. I mean, it still had that big Bollywood feel to it, but it didn't have like the, I don't know what element but that over the top. I mean, there were melodramatic over the top moments and stuff like that, but I'm talking like in the acting side
where
of
it just isn't believable anymore and it's just silly.
It was just silly.
Yeah.
It just didn't have that. It was
Yeah.
like a completely believable, and it was a wonderful love story. I mean, you knew where it was going to go. I equate SRK films, especially this era, 90s, early 2000s, similar to rom-com. It's like, but it's not a rom-com.
No.
But it's in that same genre. I
Yeah.
know what's going to happen in a rom-com, and I don't really go in for like to be like impressed like I do with like a Nolan film or
Not at
stuff
all.
like that.
Never.
But I go in and I'm like, I'm gonna enjoy this
Right,
film, and
right.
I'm gonna enjoy the ride, and you do, and you enjoy the hell out of this ride.
When
It's
we-
a 3-hour film, but what Bollywood does, maybe not Bollywood exclusively, but Indian films in general, they make a 3-hour film not feel like 3 hours because
Yep.
they put 15 songs in it, and
Yeah.
so every 15 minutes you have a nice break, and you're like, this is fun.
Yep.
And so you don't care about the 3 hours as opposed to when they don't do it, like in Pushpa, and it's not enough songs
Right.
and not enough stuff happening.
Right.
And so it just drags. This one, for a 3-hour, 12-minute film, it didn't drag for me.
Not at all. And
Yeah.
I'm interested when we get into the plot points and story, because we'll talk technical stuff. I have a question for you about how many things you saw coming versus how many you didn't.
Oh, I saw everything.
You always see
I
things.
saw
anyway.
everything.
Okay.
Every little thing.
Okay. I saw one thing for sure that happened.
It wasn't the knock on it, although I was trying to figure out at the beginning. I was like, okay, when are we going to find out that she was shot? I was like held up on that, and then as it went on, I'm like, okay, that was clearly just something that was happening. Is basically like she got shot,
Exactly.
and she's gone.
Yeah, it's
but
just-
I was waiting. I was like, when does she get shot? Was he framed for the murder? Or
Right,
what was,
right.
What was happening? That was the thing that was throwing
So
me.
let's go into the acting like we do when we jump off into things.
Yeah,
And we already said it.
This
Grounded.
might be. I don't know if it's. My Name is Khan is still a great performance of his, and it's so different from everything else he's ever done. And then what else have we seen him in?
Well, my favorite-
DDLJ.
Yeah, my favorites of his that I've enjoyed the most were, I know you won't agree, you didn't like Devdas.
Yeah.
Swadesh.
Oh yeah, that would.
My
be
Name is Khan.
Yeah, it'd probably be between My Name is Khan, Swadesh, and this one.
Yeah.
I'd say
As far as his most grounded.
Yeah, I'd say
Yeah.
Swadesh is probably even more grounded, just because it's not a big Bollywood feel to the film. It's more of like a natural. And then My Name is Khan is just such a different style of role for him. But this, man, it was so surprising because he showed the grounded moments in the other ones, but only part of the
Sometimes.
time.
A lot of the times it required him, and it's what's so endearing of something like DDLJ, when it's campy, ridiculous, silly.
Yeah. and you enjoy that,
Right.
But obviously, this is just it kind of caught me off guard.
Yes.
The entire thing. Ronnie didn't catch me off guard. I expected that from Ronnie.
She's a great actress.
Yeah,
Bottom line.
and she's always this good in everything we've seen her.
Yep.
In. And so I loved her. It was still sad that she didn't get Shah Rukh Khan in the end. I don't know if are we ever gonna see a film where they get together? Okay, good.
I said that right when they're at the border and it's toward the end, and I'm like, I still want to see Ronnie be with SRK. I know she's not a love interest; she's the hero of the film. But man, I want to see her in the
she
pretty role.
deserves it.
Yeah, she's done enough already.
She deserves to get Shah Rukh Khan in the end.
The other thing, aside from just she doesn't cease to impress as a stellar actress, I just over and over again was saying to Indrani, she's so beautiful. She's her eyes, her skin, and I said to her, I said, Ed, is she included in conversations when they talk about some of the most beautiful, like Aishwarya has always talked about? I think Rani Mukherjee is not only one of the best actresses that I've ever seen in Indian cinema, but she's one of the most cinematically such a beautiful woman.
And then this is one of the first things we've seen another Preeti one, but I think
Preeti's incredible.
She has this unique, almost a young Drew Barrymore style of face. Is that what
Yeah.
I think she has that style of face. It's like very lovable and very like innocent.
Yeah.
And then I thought she did a phenomenal job. Her chemistry with what have we seen her in? Dilse. We saw her in Dilse, and was that it?
We've seen her in a bunch of trailers, and we've had a lot of Stupid Baby Say
I feel
You
like
Need
we've
to.
seen her in more.
Oh,
That's right.
yeah, Dil Chata.
That's right. Dil Chata Hai. But yeah, she had great chemistry with Shah Rukh Khan. And
The believability factor for the three.
Sorry, she was in Laksha as well.
Was she? Oh, that's right. She was. That's right.
Dil Chata Hai. I'm just going through her thing right now.
The believability factor for the entire cast, but especially these threes we've just talked about, I believed every moment that they were on screen. There was one moment where Ronnie was talking to SRK in the prison, and she's pleading with him. And I said to Indrani, I said, she just doesn't cease to. There was no indicating. Everything is genuine. There's nothing that's being done for affectation. Everybody in this I felt was like in the moment and presenting us real people that I cared about very much.
And no shock, Amitabh Bachchan's good. And I was sad when he left, and then I realized he wasn't in the rest of the film.
Yeah, I know.
Because I was hoping those characters would
bit
come
more.
back.
Yeah.
I wanted them to interact. I thought both of the mom and Amitabh Bachchan's relationship with Preeti was beautiful.
Me too.
I thought they had great. Obviously, Big B's character was so quirky and unique, and I loved their song.
I
He's
did
like,
too.
I'm gonna marry you for the next seven lifetimes, and she's like, no,
you're not.
You're gonna.
I out loud when she came over and picked up the stuff and went, oh dang, totally dissed him.
Yeah, so I thought their relationship was absolutely fantastic. It's wonderful. And it was it was still a big Bollywood film, and so everything kind of. He came to the realization that he was being discriminatory towards women very fast, and he's like, now I'm going to make a school. Yeah. And so there was all this stuff. Yeah. But like I said, in these style of films that I know what I'm going into, I was like, I don't care about that.
Not
I'm
at
just
all.
like, I know this is going to be kind of campy almost at times.
Yeah.
I don't care. Yeah. I go in for the entertainment, but I think that goes to what Yash Chopra did. Who, this is our second Yash Chopra
Is it our
film?
second or is it our third?
DDLJ was his, right?
Wait,
Was that
wasn't
his?
DDLJ Karan Johar?
No. K3G was Karan Johar.
Oh, K3G, that's right. But the
anyways, this is one of our first ones, but I know he's like a legendary director.
Of course.
And all that. But I thought he did a phenomenal job at getting the big feel of this early 2000s Bollywood film, but also not making it campy, similar to the other one.
No, and played a really fine line with the score in terms of like the melodrama, soap opera stuff.
It wasn't as melodrama as like K3G was.
Not at all. But it was almost endearing at this point because the
melodrama came more at the end,
and it was because the actors were so grounded.
Yeah.
When you have that music accompanied by over the top, then it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But because everybody was so grounded and so many cinematic choices, there were so many beautiful lighting choices, especially when Ronnie and SRK are in the cell together. There's some lighting shots almost like a play, the way this was lit in so many instances. And then when they were in the courtroom, there was a moment I pointed out with Indrani. She said, that's such a beautiful room they've used. It's so grand. And I said, yeah, notice there was a shot right as she said it where they used I'm sure it was a crane to take you up as they're showing the room from behind the judge, so that you get not just the expanse from a visual field straight on in a static, but to give you the flow of movement that you feel, because you actually feel in a room that size, you feel the stretch of the room. And so to give you that sense of ambiance, there's that camera move, and that was done many times to give you a sense of the feel of the rooms that they were in. Extremely well done cinematography.
Yeah, I thought he did a really good job at kind of catering that style of what people expected in the late 90s to early 2000s from a big Bollywood film with Shah Rukh Khan.
Yeah.
Indian goers loved the melodrama. They loved the over-the-topness.
Yes.
But I thought he did a good job at kind of blending a little bit of that with a lot of like more natural acting and shots and score, and I thought he did a really, really good job.
And the other actors, so many faces popped up. I had forgotten Manoj was in it, so he popped up and I went, that's Manoj! Oh yeah!
Of course he's
And then we had, the three people that popped up that surprised me when I saw them first come up were Karan Kher, which we've seen
many times,
and is always good.
Yeah.
Always solid. The scene that she has with SRK, this is a testament as well to the writing. It would have been really easy to make people villainous in some way, like the mom, for example. Could have been, why are you doing this to my family? Why are you doing this to my daughter? And when he says, you're like all the mothers, that scene, she's like, you're the sons here, and he's like, well, you're the mothers there. And you could see she was torn. On the one hand, she doesn't want her husband to die and she doesn't want her family ruined. But at the same time, she recognizes this is a really genuinely good guy that her daughter's in love with. And I love the fact that it kept a level of complexity with the characters. It's just a testament to the writing. I also felt like while there was some things that were predictable, it wasn't easy choices I felt that were made. I thought that everything that they did were in alignment and congruent with a really solid story.
And she's probably the character that I sometimes had the most problems with, but that's kind of just common for me now to not like the moms in Indian cinema. I clearly just am like, why are you so over the top? Clearly just something I need to accept because it's a common theme throughout, especially Bollywood films, for the moms to be this big, bombastic, over-the-top, melodramatic. She wasn't always that. And I do agree that I did like her character, that it wasn't just a, you will get married, how are you doing this to my family?
Right.
And I did enjoy that aspect to it. And she wasn't always extremely over the top.
And two other faces that I want to no longer call him the guy from Three Idiots, because we've seen him so much and he's such a good actor.
Wait,
Bowman. Bowman Irani.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I keep calling him Cyrus, and I don't think that's his name.
No, it's Bowman Irani.
What's the name of the character, though?
Oh, in this?
No, Three Idiots.
Oh, I don't remember. I know him as the headmaster.
I thought it was
That's all I know him as, is the headmaster or the
keep calling him
principal
something wrong.
from that. But
yeah, I saw him when he showed up.
Great to see him, as well as I learned something new. You may have already known this. Of course, stupid babies know this, but Anupam Kher. First of all, we've seen him in a million things, as well as he has quite a few American films that he's been in.
Yeah.
But look at the last names of Anupam and Kiran, the mom.
Oh, they actually married?
Yep.
Oh, really?
They're husband and wife.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
That's cute.
I love that.
I like that.
But they were all great.
The score was phenomenal.
Yep.
We've reacted to a few songs, and they're all, I think, on Patreon because it's YRF.
Yeah.
You're not going to see that.
Yeah.
But they're, like I said, what Indian films do well when they're old 3-hour films, about every 15 minutes, from the opening of the film to the very end, you're going to have a song about every 15-20 minutes.
Yeah.
To kind of keep you engaged and like, this is a great
And entertained.
song.
But didn't you recognize, I was so glad we had words for the songs, because sometimes we'll get movies and there's no words for the songs. Most of the songs weren't item numbers. They were carrying the story along. And I loved that about this movie. And I loved every song.
Yeah, they're when they were kind of spending a day together, and then when he went to with SRK to meet his family and their songs, and then towards the very end, I mean,
I loved it when the minute the Punjabis started dancing, they didn't need to even say anything. I'm like, there's the Punjabis, let's party.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I thought all the songs by the composer,
Sanjeev Kohli and Madan Mohan.
and it was also Lada as well.
Yeah.
This was a wonderful, obviously, we didn't do it on purpose. Obviously, we're going to watch this regardless. But the fact that we got to hear Lada in one of her most probably famous films of hers, it was wonderful to hear her voice.
Two other technical shout-outs for sure that were standouts. I was very impressed with the smallness and the simplicity of the makeup and the aging process that they did. I felt like makeup aged SRK and Preeti really well. That's very hard to do. It can usually look really bad and you just forgive it because it's so hard to do. And while the CGI on the bus going down the thing was not good, I loved the times, especially at the end when, spoilers, assume you've all seen this, when she came to the courtroom and they're reunited, when he sees her and they transition to the way they used to look.
About 20 times, yeah.
Yeah. And the first time they do it, when he's in the jail cell and he's young SRK holding onto the window, and then it transitions to him in the prison, that was pretty clean. That was pretty clean. Now I have a question I know the answer to. Did you cry?
No. Nowhere close, did you?
Like a babe.
When? When did you cry?
I cried a couple times. So did my wife. We were there like this, and I turned to her at one time and I said, if I have a lump in my throat, if I wanted to, I could just be bawling right now. Because here's when I knew it was, I called, obviously I knew.
This is not a film that
Ronnie,
made me cry.
I knew that Ronnie was going to go find Preeti and bring her back. Yeah. And I said, I can't wait to see SRK's face and what the music's going to be when she comes walking into the courtroom. I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
But I cared about these characters so much, and I cared about Ronnie Mukherjee's character getting this to happen and winning this case, but especially this love story. My favorite thing about this story is that it's a love story that's based on what you're willing to do to lay down your life for the other person versus fighting the world to be together. Yeah. It was, I'm willing to give up my world for the other person, which is really the essence of true love. It's not it's not about, greater love has no one than this than to lay down your life for somebody else. And the fact that they both did that, and he didn't even know she did. So when they got reunited and they did that flashback, they're seeing each other now in the present, but what they're seeing is the way they saw each other at first. That whole song, the minute they saw each other and through that whole song, that's when I was crying.
In the courtroom?
Yep, in the courtroom. I got emotional. I almost started to cry when I saw that she was taking care of his mom and dad's place and that she'd been there the whole time. But I cried there, and then I cried at the very, very end when they were at the border and they leave. And
I think they were at the Wagah border.
They were.
They were definitely
We've been there. The minute they saw it, we have been there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I probably for the last 15, 20 minutes of the movie, I was, Indrani and I both were just...
Really?
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
Like I said, I enjoyed
you know what?
No way in hell.
So the first time was the courtroom. You know what had happened the second time? They're standing at the border, and Ronnie pulls... The minute she pulled out the little silver container, I looked at it, Ronnie, and I went, oh no, because I knew he was going to take it and he was going to put it on her, and I thought, that got me too. Even right now, I'm getting emotional thinking about it. So yeah, I cried like a baby.
No, I did think that I've never seen SRK look better than when he was dirty and bearded and long hair in the jail.
It's so great.
Right when he popped up, I'm like, oh, you look good, SRK.
We started watching it last night, right? So we got about halfway through, and it was getting really late. Didn't want to get sleepy. So this morning, right as I'm about to make Indrani her morning cha and get her, she's still laying in bed and she's awake, but she hasn't looked around. Watching about 5 minutes of the movie. And then the song where Preeti which I thought was brilliant. The way they depicted the song when Preeti, she can't stop thinking about him and he's appearing everywhere she looks.
Yeah.
I thought that was a great way to just say she can't get him out of her mind. The minute he starts to sing, no joke, and Johnny's laying there. The minute he starts to sing, she goes, Because you may not know this, but that was her young girl crush was SRK. So it was fun watching her crushing on SRK.
Yeah, no.
I asked her, I said, if you meet SRK, you're going to be a little gobsmacked? She went, oh my God. Yes.
Yeah, and I could obviously I could see why. Obviously, it's a perfect film for Romance Month.
Oh.
Obviously, it's it's the essence of romance, and I think we already got why SRK was like the romance king, but this one is on another level. Like just there's no tomfoolery going around. There's no
nothing.
High school. We're high school students now, and Rahu is
this is mature.
This is like, and you get some of that in like the second half of Kuch Kuch Hota Hai.
Right,
and
that surprised us.
You get some of the love in K3G and obviously DDLJ. But this, and is this your favorite SRK film?
Is that what you said? This is
maybe over Swadesh.
As much as I love Swadesh, Devdas, and My Name is Khan. There are too many things about this. Did I mention costuming?
You haven't yet. No. Yeah. There's a big...
Gorgeous costuming. That's what I meant in my opening paragraph, that it would be an insult to divulge whatever I think about this in a paragraph, because I could talk for 15 minutes, easy, just about how gorgeous costuming and jewelry was in this film. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this is for me, and obviously I'm fresh off the film. We'll see over time what happens. But as much as I love Devdas, My Name is Khan, and Swadesh, because I love those films, this one... because of how grounded SRK is, because of how unilaterally great the cast is, the technical greatness, the greatness of the writing and the score and the costuming, and then that irreplaceable moral to the story of the fact that this is a love story of people who sacrifice everything in order, not so that they can get what they want, but they both did what they did for the benefit of the other person. He gave up his life so she could be happy, and then she gave up her life for his family.
Yeah. And I will say about Shah Rukh Khan's films, they're very rewatchable. I guess it's similar to like a rom-com. Rom-coms are obviously you just watch them for the feeling. You watch them so you can be happy. You know everybody's going to get together in the end.
Yeah.
I'd say that about all of I mean, at least it's especially the big Bollywood ones like DDLJ, K3G, Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, this one. The ones that are the big over the not over the top, all of them, but the big numbers. You can do like if it's on, you're like I'm gonna sit and watch this. I'm gonna enjoy this.
Absolutely,
and I could do that with all of those. Maybe not My Name is Khan, even though it might be the better performance. It's not as
one to enjoy the technical brilliance.
It's not as rewatchable as some of these other ones because you could sit and enjoy this song. Oh yeah, I love this song.
Yeah, My Name is Khan requires you to kind of focus on what is occurring, whereas this one you can do that, but you can also just sit back and just enjoy being in the film. And the more we watch of him, and this one, my wife is absolutely right. If someone were to, I wouldn't want this to be their first SRK movie. I'd want them to see a few other ones.
Yeah.
Then, and I would say the exact same thing. I would say, if you want to know why SRK is SRK, and she even asked me at one point, she said, do you find SRK to be a very attractive actor, like, because he's such a superstar? And I said, it's interesting. Not in the way like people look at Hrithik and they're like, oh my goodness, you immediately see how beautiful the man is. There is a quality to SRK that transcends physical. He's a very handsome man.
Yeah.
But there's a rough, handsome, he's like...
he's almost like an everyman.
And I really believe, and this film captures it, because what we've seen in his speeches, what we know about his personal life, that the man himself, SRK, is a good man. And these kind of roles... you can't be this role as well as he is unless you're sharing something of yourself that's actually... It's like Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
There's a quality to Tom Hanks that makes his characters so kind and so lovable because Tom Hanks, the man, is a kind and lovable man.
Yeah.
And that's why it's more than just the arm spreading thing now. It's even, there's a charm about him and a kindness about who he is that makes you want to root for him and makes you fall in love with him. So sold.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being patient. Obviously.
Yeah, really.
And I'm sure, I know for a fact there's many more Shah Rukh Khan films that we need to get to.
Yeah.
But what should be our next Shah Rukh Khan film?
And Preeti Zinta and Rani Mukherjee.
Is there one that's worthy of a watch that Rani and SRK actually get together in the end?
My wife tells me there are.
Is it worthy though?
Yeah, she's nodding back there. Come on, I gotta see Ronnie win in the end with SRK.
Yeah.
I gotta see
Well,
that.
let us know what the next Shah Rukh Khan film should be and the next romance film. Maybe they intertwine down below.
I deduced that we did the Devdas.
Hey, welcome back to our Stupid Reactions, idiots. I'm Corbin.
The Phantom of the Opera is there. I don't know why I just did. Well, I did that because I took my son to see the Phantom of the Opera. Yeah, I'm ready.
You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter for more juicy content.
It's so
And thank you for supporting us on Patreon.
Yes.
And follow us on official Twitter account.
I almost sounded like I was imagining Big B doing that.
Instagram. And
Twitter.
Rule number 1. But today we are doing a movie review of one that you've been yelling at us.
Screaming and yelling, screaming and yelling, and yelling and screaming and screaming and yelling. I have my probiotics, no? They don't pay us to plug this. I just like it.
We watched Devdas.
Hi, how are you?
A 2002 film. It's obviously directed by the brilliant Sanjay
Leela
Bhansali.
Bansali. Yeah.
Our what, 5th film of his?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even get my notes.
Something like that. And starring Shah Rukh Khan, the beautiful Ashwar. How do you
Oh, excuse me.
Ashwarya Rai, right?
My probiotics are kicking in. Ashwarya Rai.
Ashwarya Rai.
Ashwarya Rai.
And
I believe that's right. I hope that's right.
and
Good
say
grief, I
this
hope that's
name
right.
for me, please.
Madhuri Dixit.
Dixit.
Yeah, Madhuri Dixit.
Who plays? I can't pronounce
Yes,
her
well-
name, but you know who she plays.
Yes, she plays the Lady of the Night.
You want to read the synopsis real?
I do want to read the synopsis very quickly. After his wealthy family prohibits him from marrying the woman he is in love with, Devdas Mukherjee's life spirals further and further out of control as he takes up alcohol and a life of vice to numb the pain.
One could say
He's like you.
he gets used to alcohol.
That's true. He gets used to it, which, hey, it's injurious to your health. That's true.
But yes, so this will be a 100% spoiler review because you've all
seen it, and if you haven't, leave and go see it.
Yes. But now get into the review.
Yes.
This film.
Brum, brum, brum. I'm very, very interested to hear what you have to say.
I'm very interested to hear what you have to say.
Whoa, look at us.
I
Interested
know.
in what each other has to say.
Well, no, not really.
No.
I take that back.
That's true, me too.
This film was a huge mixed bag. Actually, mostly.
Oh, good. We're gonna be on different pages. I can feel it.
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
Mostly like good, but some despicable aspects to it
Well, you're talking about in the story, or
No.
in the film?
in the film.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, we're gonna be on different pages. We're gonna be on different pages. Go ahead.
What did you think?
No. I want to hear. Go elaborate. I want to hear more of what you have to say.
Tell me what you thought about it.
This is gonna be fun.
Tell me what you thought about it.
I think it's a masterpiece.
I think it's a masterpiece in terms of everything outside of most of the acting.
Really?
Not, and this is where you'll see our differences, I suppose. But not Shah Rukh Khan, not Ashwarya Rai,
Okay.
and not what's her face.
Madhuri Dixit.
Who,
So what? Like 3 people in there that you didn't like?
no, I loved them all.
Yeah, no. I know you love them. I just happened to randomly pick the number 3.
Yeah. And we can get into more because I don't want this to start off just me 100% bashing because it was putrid. Some of the acting that was going on, but that's why I think it's
very interesting.
It's such a weird film to me because normally, if there's that bad of acting, I cannot sit through a film and enjoy it. I cannot do
Right.
It's just, that is the main thing I watch film for, is for acting. That's my favorite part of it. I'm an actor, and so it's just that's why I go into films and I love film, is just to watch these actors act. That's why I think this is a brilliant film, because despite a lot, and I don't know how it happened, because he's such a brilliant director. This guy, this Sanjay,
Yeah.
has more mastery of color and shots than almost any director I've ever seen.
He is, I wrote this at one point during the movie, he is the director of love and light.
Yes.
Unlike anything I've ever seen.
This was just as beautiful as Padmavat, Pastrami Maslanani, but different because it's so old, it all had to be practical.
It's funny because since we're on this, let's talk about his direction first, because I want to talk about the direction. We're going to talk about the acting for sure.
I'll talk about the acting because that's going to be when I dig in.
Yeah. And as usual, get fresh
it's going to be at least 25 minutes.
At least. So, having seen his other, especially Padmavat Bajramastani, I saw two things simultaneous. The first thing I saw was his growth that we've seen as a director with his visual mastery, because he's a master in this film, but he's become an even more breathtaking, like I've stopped, as you know. I'll be watching a film of his and I have to stop it too and go.
I'm going to gush over one, like I out loud said, whoa! I think you can know it was during one of the songs where she just changed from, I think it was red, and then she did a twirl, and she became green.
Yeah, emerald.
Yeah.
You know what?
It had to be practical.
You know what was a whoa moment for me? That was another practical moment, because that's the other aspect of this. Is I not only saw his growth, but I saw how much he had to do very practically, even though he had a very big budget for this.
Obviously. Yeah.
He still did so many practical things, like when Devdas comes to her and the first time she's out in the moonlight to meet him with her lamp next to her and she's asleep.
Yes.
He does a shot that's just movement of light through stained glass.
Oh yeah, I loved all the stained glass parts.
And you see him by her, and you don't see the camera moving as much as you see the light bending through the freaking great.
Yeah, this was just like Pastrami Maslanani and Padmavat in terms of you could watch this just in silent, which is one of the things that I was like, I actually almost wish this was a silent film.
It could have been.
The one thing that was ruining it for me was
that's where
acting.
And that's where I have something to say about that when we get to it.
But you could literally just watch this thing. The way he shoots it is, I've never
Looking at my notes, by the way.
I've never seen a director do this and have the mastery of color like this.
Yes.
Because it's old school shooting almost in terms of old Hollywood, old whatever. But it's obviously they didn't have color, and so the mastery of his shots, the creativeness of his shots, but then the symmetry and the color.
Yes,
I was almost more blown away by this than I was in terms of that aspect than I was Pastrami Maslanani and Padmavat, because he had to do it all practically.
Yes,
none of it could have been computer generated.
Right.
So,
right. Yeah,
that's why it's a little more impressive.
It's very impressive to me, and this is one of my notes. Everything about this film floats like a sliver of silk on a breeze or smoke from a candle tip.
Wow, you're just a little poet there, aren't you?
It was the way it felt. Mm-hmm. And the way he had everything balanced with the tempo of the film could have... And I also wrote this in my notes later on, whereas for Vishal Bhardwaj and Heder, that is his, our Beethoven and our Mozart. To me, this was Sanjay's masterpiece. Mm-hmm. And just like as I was watching Heder and thinking to myself, this is so on a fine, delicate place that can go so wrong at any place. I felt that with this, and it never did it for me. I can't wait to talk to you about the acting, but sticking to his and the whole team he puts together. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's just talk about costuming.
Oh.
I mean, when she toward the end, when she is in this, I have a picture of it. Goodness gracious.
I'll put it on the screen. Oh, yeah. Just the vivid
I had to
colors.
Stop it. The purples.
The vivid colors. It happened with a lot of their dresses.
Oh.
But it was an accent to what was going on around them.
Yes.
Everything complemented it.
Yes.
Even with what Shah Rukh Khan was wearing sometimes.
Yes. Even when he first showed up, the British, mm-hmm. I mean, the attention they have to all the detail in the costuming, like everything he does, it's just
and we could talk about
best.
The score. This, I think has the best songs, like in terms of musical number songs, not like behind them, like.
Well, even the score underneath throughout for me was just Oscar level.
Well, Uri has
Yeah.
like background music, which
Right,
is different.
right.
These musical numbers, I enjoyed them. I almost didn't want them to end, which is very strange for me. Every single time one came on, I was like, "Oh, good, we're back." Let's go back to the acting now.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, we will.
But like every single, I enjoyed the song we reacted to even more.
Dola. Oh my goodness, I lost my mind when that came on.
I was waiting for it.
Yeah,
I
me
was like,
too.
when is this gonna come back? Because I enjoyed it even more because we had the context behind it now.
Yeah.
And we knew who these two actresses were. They're both freaking brilliant.
Yes.
Obviously, we didn't notice them. Obviously, in that thing because that's just the song, and we couldn't.
Right.
We didn't really know their acting ability.
Yes.
They were both beautiful women.
Yes.
But there was new songs in this, like ones with Shah Rukh Khan and then
The alcohol song,
yeah.
the drunk song.
Yeah,
That was fantastic.
real good. I think has my favorite overall just musical numbers of any of the Indian films we've seen.
Yeah, and my other
I
favorite.
loved every single one of them.
My other favorite thing about this, and I wrote this down in my notes as far as I like, and maybe even wish we'd seen it even a little bit later in this regard. Because we've been so passionate about becoming immersed in India, and Indian culture, and Indian history, and Indian film, of all the films we've seen, this one felt the most deeply Indian in terms of everything. I wrote, this film is deeply, deeply Indian. It is to me the most richly and deeply Indian film we've seen thus far. It simply drips with everything that is so lavish, lush, and rich about India's culture, spirituality, poetry, history, legend, and I'm sure we don't even comprehend even half of it. It just is. I was overwhelmed with how much it just was like. If you want, and I don't know the average American, including us, if I had seen this as like my first Indian film,
yeah.
it would be wasted on. I think only people who are familiar enough with Indian film, I think,
I agree with
could
you, which
appreciate
is one of the
this.
issues I had with the acting.
Which is why I didn't have an issue with the acting.
No, that's why.
Yeah,
that's why
I didn't. Okay, so you want to get into the acting?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Let's get into the acting.
You started off the film, and I almost out loud said, "Oh God." I was like, "Oh, I can't sit through this for 3 hours."
That's funny because I almost out loud said, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, but that's because you know. See, that's the issue with it, and it's not with, like I said, it's not Shah Rukh Khan. It's not with Aishwarya Rai.
Yeah.
And what's her name?
Madhuri Dixit.
Who?
Yeah.
I think these were the best two in the Aishwarya Dixit and Aishwarya Rai.
Yeah,
Aishwarya
those
Dixit.
three carry the film with their performances and the characters.
They sometimes had the over melodramaticness, sometimes.
Yeah.
But it was very rare for these three.
And see that.
But almost everyone else, you can name any other character, and I would have almost hated everything they did.
See, for me,
Outside of when they were in songs, because it fit. It was like they were doing a play, but you can't do stage acting in a film. It does not work.
well, here's where you may find out something. Here's the first thing that comes to mind. I wasn't thinking about this when I watched the film. It's just coming to mind right now. So, in A Streetcar Named Desire, you have the juxtaposition of two completely different performances.
Oh, trust me.
With Blanche and Stanley. And those two characters and the way those actors portrayed those people, she completely carries with her. And she has to because it's the character. The overdramatic, the melodramatic, the silent film style of acting, and Brando was pure realism. Raw, unadulterated realism.
Guess which one I liked?
Of course. my preference when I'm watching a film and seeing a story is to see something believable in the same way that with visual artistry like painting, I like realism. I like to see a Norman Rockwell. That will blow my mind compared to something abstract, and that, for whatever reason, that's just me.
Well, I love abstract art.
And I don't dislike abstract.
That's my favorite.
I don't dislike it. But realism for me is what captures me and pulls me, especially the suspension of disbelief. Correct? I mean, it's hard for me to watch old school style acting before method and believe what I'm seeing. This had an amazing capacity for me, and I think it's because I accepted it at the beginning. I accepted the fact that this was going to be more stylized than realism in the acting. I don't think it was bad acting. I think it was a choice that Sanjay allowed the people to make and did it. I could be stretching this. I'd love to sit down and talk to this man.
I would love to.
Because he's taking this from other material. He's taking this from a book.
Yeah.
That in I wonder how much was lost in translation, because we had my subtitles were conveying so much of the poetry, but I'm sure we got lost.
Yeah.
This is about as grandiose, over the top, pure romantic love expression that I don't know how it could be conveyed. And I loved that, and this again bespeaks the pure Indian nature of it, and the evolution of Indian cinema, because Indian cinema has evolved with method acting at a different pace.
Much different pace.
Much different
Much
pace.
more recent.
Much more recent.
Yeah.
This is an interesting blend in the same way that A Streetcar Named Desire was. And I don't think people would have a problem, at least I don't. I didn't have a problem with Blanche being as overdramatic and melodramatic and seeing that pull. I actually find the acting in this that isn't realistic, that is more of the overdramatic, deeply endearing for me. It didn't pull me, but I do understand why you didn't like it.
No, I don't.
For me, I freaking loved every aspect of it.
Like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed the film. If like this was like, if it didn't have this over dramatic acting in it, it would have been a utter, and just one of my favorite films we've seen so far. But I can't, because of how bad some of the acting was.
Yeah, see,
I don't understand it.
Way up.
Because I was thinking, I was like, maybe it was a stylistic choice by Sanjay to do this, but it's only some people. For some reason, it's not the main three. They're all, for the most time, they do have some moments. For the most time, they're usually grounded. Mm-hmm. These three actors.
Yeah. But didn't you find
like, it started out this way. A
Right.
completely unbelievable way of saying, oh, he's coming home! Oh, yes! I'm gonna go tell someone else now! It was garbage.
I love it.
It was garbage. And I hated it.
I bet you also hated how much they're telling us what's happening versus showing it.
100%.
Like, oh, my Tempest has returned. And,
I hated it.
Oh,
I
love
especially hated, I think she was the sister-in-law. She was the one that kept trying to blackmail him for some reason.
Yeah.
I didn't really get why she didn't like him so much.
Right.
But she was like almost the worst, because they made her, like, Sanjay made her out to be the villain like right from the beginning, because she would come on screen and then you would see her and she would go,
Yeah.
and I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
This is not a soap opera.
But it kind of is.
Yeah, but that's not good film. Nobody thinks soap operas are good acting, and nor should they be in film.
No. It's not. It's soap opera. I don't believe it's soap opera in terms of it being, because on soap operas you do have some bad acting. You don't have, not always the case. There's actually some good acting on
Usually
soap
always
operas.
bad.
And this is, again, for me, I think, and I would love to, I wanted to read more of the history. I think this film is a big bridge in the same way that Streetcar was, as well as Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. Mm-hmm. Those two films in American cinema are a transition period for the world of actors, where it went from one era to the next era. I think this is probably, and one of the reasons why Shah Rukh Khan is the guy that they talk about who bridges old Bollywood to the new. Mm-hmm. Because this film for me is like Streetcar. It's the film that I think, based on my limited knowledge, takes Indian film from what it used to be, and it's more, because Indian film, like American film, takes from it the history of stage and live performance. Well, Indian live performance is thousands of years old. So they've got a lot, even the dancing styles that they do are so old. So for me, I felt like this was a beautiful, congruent combination of old school and new school coming together that didn't bother me at all.
Yeah. Hey, here's what I'll say about it. Is like right when I saw it, I did almost the exact same thing you said you did. I had to adjust my brain.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
This is what we're doing.
Yeah.
And it did get 1,000% better, but I think there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
It's because obviously, in the beginning they were happy, so for some reason they thought they needed to be over extravagant happy.
Yeah.
For some reason, I still don't get it. But obviously the longer it went on, the sadder it got, and so the smaller people usually get when they're sad. Yeah. And so I think that's why it got better for me. But also it's because of Sanjay's brilliant. Obviously, the entire time Like normally, if this film had this a film had this bad of acting, I can't enjoy it. But because Sanjay's directing, music, shots, the costuming, the songs, and the main three's acting, kind of saved it. But if anybody was on screen other than the main three, I was usually always taken out almost immediately after a song.
Okay, but let me ask you this about this. We're going to stick on the acting for a second. Let me ask you this. What we've come to learn about Indians, right? Everything about them, it's why I love you so much, is larger than life. Everything. Everything that they do, their anger, their happiness, their passions, their food, their colors and their clothing, they are celebrators of life to the extreme. You've seen what they do when a trailer comes out in a movie theater.
Okay.
They lose their minds. Confetti and instruments and screaming. People leave
It
hoarse.
still doesn't mean that the acting can be excused because they're bigger. Because like, you could be bigger and be believable. What's his name? I don't know why I'm forgetting his name. Scarface.
Al Pacino.
Thank you. That man is as big as you can get in terms of acting, and he is always believable.
No, Jim Carrey's about as big as you can get in acting.
Yeah, and I have a problem with this.
Yeah, see, and I love Jim Carrey.
Well, I love Jim Carrey and his comedy, but I don't think he can do serious performance. Well, at least I haven't seen his new stuff.
Well,
But
it's that. For me, and again, it may just be because I'm just so in love with India. And not saying that you're not. That's not what I mean by that. I mean it. What I mean by that is the largeness of expression. I'm totally enamored.
I understand. I understand that, and I get it. But it still shouldn't take the bigness. Still shouldn't take you out of the moment.
See, that doesn't bother
as
me.
most of the acting did.
No, and like I always go back to, for example, if you were watching, if you knew something was definitively non-real, like I always go back to this because it's the first thing that pops in my head is Kabuki theater, because Kabuki theater is way over the top. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't be thinking about the realism that's supposed to be in it. I think there's a and I'm with you in this. We have a presupposition that when we're watching a film, that it must draw us in and be believable because but I love being pulled in another direction that says, you know what? What if we're going to do something here, abstract in a way, that pulls it into a direction and it's totally not just forgivable, but celebratory.
But that would make sense if they were all like that. The main three were not like that.
I know, but there again, it's like Streetcar. It's like it's a blend.
These two females right here
Yeah.
put on such brilliant performances. Shwari Ray is just freaking brilliant. Her eyes are
She was born to be on screen.
So amazing.
She was created to have her face on a movie screen.
She is just so beautiful. Her eyes are so captivating.
Yep.
And all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so then I don't want to dig on the acting too much. So
no, but I get it.
But yeah, you can let us know what you thought about it. But I do want to talk about the ending because I loved.
Yeah, I knew it.
I loved the.
I knew you would. I hated the ending, and I said Corbin's gonna love the way this ended.
Oh, I loved it.
Oh.
And I'm surprised all you loved it with how much Indians love.
I hate that ending.
Happy endings.
Oh.
I was so happy.
You pig.
I was so happy at the end. Because
I was so happy to see Parle grieving and knowing she'd live the rest of her life without her true love.
Yes.
No.
I did. And I was so happy. I am guessing this is the actual story.
From the book.
From the book.
Yeah.
That obviously we did not know how this was going to end because we have not read or seen.
No, we haven't read
these
it or
films.
seen it. Right, and I do know, little
maybe
side note.
Maybe that's why you liked it because you've actually read the story before.
We do know that this is not the first film adaptation of this. It is the third, and that there is a Bengali version of this film, which would be really important to people who are Bengali because this story is a deeply Bengali story. It's deeply, deeply entrenched in that.
I loved the ending. I love how unhappy it was.
And I, by the way, I say I hated it because the romantic in me wants everything to be happy and them live happily ever after. Mm-hmm. But I also know that life doesn't work out that way. Mm-hmm. I knew you'd love that. Mm-hmm. And I know the answer to this question, but for me, there were two moments that moved me to tears. I know there were none for you.
No.
You were probably smiling at the end.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, I knew it.
I was very happy. I was thank you so
when
much for doing that.
So when he says, Parle, and the lamp goes out.
Oh yeah, brilliant.
You were cheering. You were like, yes.
No, I was happy about the directing.
Yeah.
I was like, that was brilliant, Sanjay.
Brilliant directing.
Yeah,
As was
multiple moments that I've said that. Like I was like, this man, he knows how to.
There was
cuts.
there was a Passion of the Christ moment at the end, and it's a flashback running moment, and that's what I mean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where she's running to him, calling his name, and it flashes back to when she was a little girl running and calling to him. As she's running to him out there, which is the flashback moment where Mary is running to Jesus and she remembers him falling and she's running. It had that same level of impact for me.
Gotcha.
In terms of and I love moments like she just knows he's out there.
Yep.
You know, that they're linked. Even when he's on the train, she can just sense. And when he is bleeding and she is bleeding, this almost like twins.
Yeah.
Because those kinds of manifestations happen with twins.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's one of the reasons I actually loved the ending, is because I almost didn't forgive him for some reason hitting her just randomly.
I know, in the head with the thing.
Yeah, I was like, what was that? Like, he wasn't even mad. Like, he was just like,
No, but
what?
that, like another thing on my notes, that's what I mean by this being so richly Indian. I guarantee that moment, I think there's probably 1,000 moments where they're doing something like they're singing about Krishna and they're talking about certain things and referencing certain things that are so steeped and deep in Indian culture and history and legend and writing that I think we barely brushed on it, and that this thing for the connoisseur, it's like there's certain wine, no kid's gonna drink a wine, right? And no one's really gonna appreciate wine until you have broken down all of the elements in it, and you can tell the difference between the tannins and the sugars and know the processing, and you can differentiate between the Sauvignon Blanc and the Chardonnay, and you know the aromas and fragrance. That for me is, this thing is so rich and lavish and full of India. I guarantee that moment when he hit her in the head and the symbolism, because immediately I was aware of the fact of the red on the scalp.
Yeah.
I don't think it was, but it does appear to us as just a random hit in the head.
I just didn't understand it.
Me too.
Like, because when we watched Kabir Singh, people said this was like a new Devdas. I'd seen those comments that said it. And I saw some similarities between
Slightly.
the
love.
The love, and then obviously he just randomly hit her. Kabir Singh was out of like anger, and it was like in a moment that he, obviously we talked about that. I think he deeply regretted.
Yeah.
It was just, it just seemed so random, almost.
Random and incongruent.
Yeah, I was like, what? Like, what even was that? Like, I didn't see the build up to him like.
No, but again, I think it has.
And then he was like happy about it. He was like,
I know, because I think there's a
I was
symbolism.
the moon.
No,
What?
I think there's I remember one of the first moments we had watching that I realized what I was watching meant something, but I didn't know what it meant. And that was in Padmavat, when he's about to go out and fight, and she has said, if you die, I'm dying too. And I'm going to...
he found out.
Right. And there's the moment where she is giving him the cloth, and he's putting his handprints on the cloth. I knew when they were doing it that I didn't know what they were doing, but it meant something really deep. And we found out later from Stupid Babies, they're like, oh yeah, that is exactly his way of letting the whole world know that if I don't go back and I'm dead on the battlefield, she will show that to everyone, which she does. She walks with it in her arms at the end. And it's her way of showing the world, my husband and I agreed that if he dies, I die, and I'm going to go to my death with his acknowledgement and permission, which she was supposed to do, or it would be dishonoring to her. I think something like that happened with literally him smacking her in the head.
It just seemed weird to me.
Yeah.
It just seemed a little strange to me. But yeah, like I said, I loved the ending. I thought it was brilliant that they didn't end up even like
I knew
she
you'd
couldn't
love
even
that.
embrace him.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah,
yes,
the door closed.
Just end it here. End it now. And they did, and I was like, yeah. I'm so happy.
You sicko. I want to see if I have anything else in my notes.
Yeah, so that was really good. So like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Even though there was that one aspect of it, that not the main three, but almost everybody else's acting, I despised.
Two things I wanted to remind. I'll mispronounce the character name of Chandramukhi, the courtesan, right? The Lady of the Night.
Yes.
She reminded me a lot of the role that Priyanka plays when she plays Kashi in Bajirao.
A little bit.
In terms of she's just trying to love this man that she loves, but wants what's best for him and is kind of, obviously not the one that he's in love with. Just a little bit. I had that same kind of empathy for her in a way. And the other thing I just gotta say is the musical number in this, the Dolare one, and the musical number with Deepika and Priyanka in Bajirao. There is nothing more beautiful than watching Indian women in those beautiful clothing doing those such beautiful little delicate little things where they'll just come in for a close-up shot and all they'll do is a little head move and like a little eyebrow raise.
yeah.
It's just enchanting to me.
Oh, I loved it even more the second time.
I don't think a woman can be more beautiful than doing what they do in those numbers.
Is
It's
Jackie,
so pretty.
Jackie Shroff, is he Tiger Shroff's father?
Yes, sir.
Is it?
I believe you are correct.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I would give this, and it's only because the acting, I'd give it a B+.
Yeah, for me, it's A+ masterpiece. This is up there for me with Header.
I can't put it in A because of the acting.
Oh man, no. This is to me, of the movies we've
It's
seen.
way too melodramatic by most of the acting.
I have many films that I love.
But here's the thing: you would show somebody who hasn't seen Indian films Header, right?
Yeah, reluctantly.
Well, it depends on if they like acting, of course.
And they'd have to know. See, here's
But
one of the drawbacks.
You cannot show this to somebody who does not know Indian film.
True, and here's another drawback. We know the source material for Header intimately.
Yeah.
We don't know the source material for this. This was our first exposure to this story, and it began as a literary piece.
Even still, if you didn't know the story of Hamlet,
you could follow that.
somebody could follow that.
Easier.
Depending on if they like just watching acting.
Because it's a contemporary telling. That's why. It's contemporary. You could catch somebody up on Header real quick and just let them know, hey, this is an
But
adaptation.
even still, Padmavat and Basrami Mastanani, you could also show those before you could show this
Right.
to somebody who does not know Indian film.
Correct, because this is so deeply Indian. I would not recommend this to somebody without either one of two things happening. I would tell them, do yourself a favor and watch Indian film for like 4 or 5 months first. Then enjoy this. And maybe watch a couple of SRK films and watch some Sanjay Leela Bhansali films first, then watch this. Or let me sit next to you and we can pause it and take 6 hours and I'll explain as much of it as I can as we're watching so that you can really... It would be like taking someone who's never been through like a 6-course meal of foods they've never had. They've never had oysters on the half shell. They've never had lobster. They've never had different wines that are paired with their foods. They've never had a chocolate souffle. You would want to be there with them and explain the nuances of... Totally agree. This is not just go watch this Indian film.
That's one of the reasons I can't give it an A.
It's a masterpiece.
Outside of everything besides, once again, not the main three, but everybody else's acting, I thought everything about this film was brilliant.
Yeah, I loved everything,
thought
including those actors.
Everything about this film was brilliant, outside of basically everybody else except for the main three.
Yeah, and I now come on, didn't you even, because we're going to be here for an hour, didn't you even like, there was a change that happened with the supporting people when?
Like I said, it got better, but it was still...
Paro's mom shows up thinking she's celebrating the fact that Devdas and her daughter are going to be married, and they pull a fast one on her, and she gets really angry and starts ripping into them, and they rip into her. I felt that was a pretty real moment for characters that had previously been very grandiose and over
Like
the
I
top.
said, it got better because they had to be smaller because they were sad. Most people aren't extravagant when they're sad, outside of when they go, But so that's why I said it got better, because the film got sadder, and so people have to be smaller when they're sadder.
All right, which is why you like sad films,
Which I do.
because then people tend to be more real.
I like sadness.
Yeah, you do.
Sadness.
That's
and
why you don't
darkness.
cry,
No, I don't.
because you prefer to be in the dark. Sadness.
Darkness is fun.
तुझसे बहाने करूं, तू मुस्कुराए वजह मिल जाए से वो बारिश जो भिगा